YouTubes, you can show me here with another Ramble. It's been a while, but I'm back with these. And today I'm going to be talking about the SmashFest that was recently held at US and Canada Best Buy stores. So for those of you that don't know, this is an event that Nintendo partnered with Best Buy to give people a chance to play Super Smash Bros. For Wii U before the game releases this holiday season. Just like all the awesome people that went to E3 got to do, now we get to do it too. While in theory it's a brilliant idea, and they did this last year too with E3 at Best Buy, or the Nintendo Experience, or whatever they called it, where you got to go into a Best Buy store and you got to play Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Super Mario 3D World, Mario Kart 8, or Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, which was really cool. And this time around, it was handled just as sloppy as it was last year. And I was hoping that with how last year went, that Nintendo and Best Buy would kind of get their crap together and know how to handle it for Smash Brothers. Now, last year they did have 4 games that you could demo. You waited in line, you picked one game, and you got to play it. You got to play for about 2 to 5 minutes, depending on which game you played. And so I was hoping with Smash that they would kind of know what they were doing. Smash is an insanely popular game. And so you have to expect the fact that these lines were going to be a lot longer than they were last year. Because the incentive is a lot more. There's a lot more to draw you in. And that was fact. That happened. But they were not prepared. For those of you who haven't got to experience one of these before, let me tell you how it goes. Basically, Nintendo sends their representative in the area, ours in the, is it the Metro Detroit area? I don't know how far his reign goes, is Jesse. And I've known him from the times I worked at Toys R Us and all these events, and saw him a couple times when I was in my local GameStop. So I'm very familiar with him. He's a good guy. So they send the representative out to this Best Buy with the game and any supplies that he needs. And they put the disc in the Wii U demo unit that's at that Best Buy, and that's what they use. So no matter how many people you have in line, you're playing on one TV with one system. And with Smash, they set it up for a 2-minute brawl, just going off of points. So no stocks or anything like that. So you had 2-minute rounds, give or take about a minute to get people to set up and leave. So you're looking at 3 minutes every 4 people. And they did this for 5 hours on Wednesday and 5 hours on Saturday. I attended both days. And so that's fine and dandy to get people through, but you have to realize in some areas it wasn't as bad. In my area, I would say there was at least 500 people that showed up. At least. On Wednesday, I got there, it was 4 to 9. And I got there at 4. I was trying to get out the door a lot earlier than 4, but that didn't happen. And so I get there at 4 o'clock, and the lines wrapped around the building a fair amount. It wasn't huge or anything like that, so I was like, okay. Turns out there was already about 300-person line inside the store already. And the people that were outside were the residual line. And so the Best Buy people were talking about how you might not get a chance to play. We're trying to get as many people through as possible. Yada yada. It was kind of a mess. So there was at least 500 people there in the 4 to 9 on Wednesday. Saturday didn't fill up as quick, it seems. But when I left Saturday about probably 1 o'clock, give or take. I was there about an hour after it started. But I got there at 10 a.m. It started at 12. I got there a lot earlier on Saturday. And I was pretty much in and out of there. But when I left at about 1 o'clock, there was a residual line outside wrapped around about the same distance that I was at when I arrived at 4 on Wednesday. So needless to say, both days were very, very successful on getting people into these Best Buys. And there was a pre-order incentive. If you pre-ordered it at Best Buy and you pick it up, you get a coin. They gave out a Luigi coin last year at last year's event, and if it's the same material as that, it's a nice little heavy-duty coin. And I'm looking forward to hopefully owning. Best Buy advertisement as the first 70 people that pre-ordered get the coin. But then when we got there, they're like, we don't have the coin. The coin's going to be given out when you pick up the game. And of course, there's two versions of the game. One, the 3DS version comes out on October 4th, October 7th, somewhere on there. The Wii U one comes out holiday 2014. Is it 70 for only the 3DS? Is it 70 for both? The Best Buy employees were saying that as long as you pre-order during the event, so as long as your pre-order receipt said 6/11 or 6/14, then you get a coin. That's what they were saying. I don't know what's going to happen. I pre-ordered the 3DS version there just to see what happens. If I get a coin, I'll purchase it. If I don't, I will just ask for a refund. Because I'm probably going to end up digitally downloading 3DS Smash anyway, but that is besides the point. It was just an overall mess. These events could turn into something really big if Nintendo kind of prepares it. And I think they're trying to do so much in 1-2 day event that you could get a lot more people in if you were to make these bigger events over the course of a month. Even if you still want to do Wednesday, Saturday, just have like select areas are on the first week, second week new areas, third week new areas, fourth week new areas. You'd hit a lot more Best Buys. And looking at Twitter and stuff, a lot of people were having issues with the fact that there was no Best Buys near them that were doing the event. I live in Michigan. There's 3 of them. One of them was only 15 minutes away from me, so I was really fortunate. Some people had to drive an hour, hour and a half plus to get to these events. And while that's all right, I guess what I'm trying to get at is to drive that far and wait in that long of a line to only play 2 minutes of Smash Bros. And then leave. While the 2 minutes is great, I was in line for 3.5 hours or something on Wednesday. And at the end of the day, it wasn't worth it. I love Smash. It's an amazing game and probably one of my favorite franchises. But still, that was a long time for not that much in return. It was only 2-minute rounds. And I understand that because there's so many people, you have to get through it. But it wasn't a thing to where you could like play and then zip to the back of the line and then wait and play again. The Nintendo Experience last year, you could actually do that. When I left that one, I probably could have stood in line and played another game, but I just wanted to play Mario Kart that day, honestly. But it's just a shame that that's kind of your end result with these things. And I know a while back, it was a while back, because it was when they were advertising Double Dash. Nintendo did a couple mall tours, and those were incredible. They set up this huge display in the middle of my local mall's cafeteria, and there was stations to play to the 1080 snowboarding game on GameCube. Double Dash, where you actually were using wheels and pedals and everything. So that was really cool, and there was all these stations to play all these different upcoming GameCube games. And that was incredible, and I want to see something like that again. These Best Buy events are a step in the right direction. But with one unit, with only up to 4 people, it just wasn't timed good. Especially with so many people. If there was about as many people as there was last year, it probably would have been okay. With 2-minute rounds, you're in and out. It's a constant cycle. But when there's 500 plus people there, it takes a long time, even with only 2-minute rounds. And that was the unfortunate thing. If they could set this up, even if they had to set it up outside or something, to where they could have like a full unit with 8 systems or something like that, and just get so many people playing in and out and have a rotating line or something like that, it would have made these events a whole lot more entertaining, because you could actually stay there the entire 5 hours and play multiple times and talk with your friends. The line experiences were okay. I got to talk with some really cool Nintendo fans. Didn't make new friends or anything like that, but I hung out with my friends that went with me. But so the line experience was okay, but I think that these events have the ability to turn into something very, very cool. And very worthwhile to travel to. Stay the full 5 hours, play multiple rounds of Smash, talk with people. They were giving out a couple free goodies. I got a set of cat toad ears on Wednesday, and then since I was there earlier on Saturday, I got a little bit more. I got a Mario Kart 8 flag, some Bravely Default cards, some stickers, a button. So, I mean, it wasn't anything extravagant or anything like that, but it is cool that you got some freebies. So I would just really, such a huge fan, that was the word I was trying to go for, of Nintendo, that I want to see these events turn into something really big. And no, I know that they can do it because they did it with that mall tour back in the GameCube era, and I'm pretty sure they had a couple Wii mall tours as well. So I know they have that ability. And so I think with a game like Smash that is so insanely popular that they underutilized it so much that it overall just kind of turned into a very grumpy experience for a lot of people. I know on Wednesday, all the people around me were just really aggravated. Slight tangent story. This is a ramble. I can get away with it. This isn't organized at all. On Wednesday, the Best Buy employees at my local store that I was holding were honestly dicks. They were rude to everyone, and they weren't really helpful. They didn't quite know what was going on. It was overall just very much an unorganized mess. There was no employee outside with us to keep us informed. A couple different people came out at various intervals about every 45 minutes or so, going like, oh, it's still going on in there. We still don't know if you're going to play. We're still trying. But no one was updating us on anything outside the store. And so there was several people coming out of the store and no one going in. And what happened at my location is a group came out and was wondering why we were standing outside. And so we were the people in front of us at the front of the line were like, oh, we're waiting in line for the Smash Brothers, and they're like, well, we just went in and waited in line and played. And so that caused an uproar at the beginning of our line, and basically what they did in the front of the line was unhooked the rope that was blocking us and just went in. And of course, no one wanted to lose their space in line, so everybody followed. And so the Best Buy employees got really aggravated and were started like yelling at us, saying that they were going to kick us out and that everyone had to go backwards, and there's something about fire hazards, even though at that point it really wouldn't have been a fire hazard anymore, because the inside line was shrinking dramatically at that point. But what they wanted to do was not bring anybody in from outside until the line inside was gone, and then they were going to form a new line, which it wasn't super hot that day. But if something like that happened in climates where it's very much a dry heat, I can't imagine how awful I would feel. It was actually kind of rainy that day, so it wasn't that hot, so I'm fortunate for that. But like the way they handled it was just really rude. I understand what happened at the front of the line wasn't very civil, but it's not like we were charging in with pitchforks and torches blazing or anything like that. We were just calmly walking in. And they're like, whoa, 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 we're going to kick you all out if you don't back up. Get back out of the store and we'll bring you guys in. And honestly, that wouldn't have happened if they just had an employee outside keeping us updated on what was going on inside. Thankfully, my girlfriend came with us, so she was kind of going in and out of the store, keeping me updated. But that doesn't help the entire rest of the line. That only helped me. And so I'm sure that didn't happen at most Best Buy locations. I'm pretty sure it's probably better organized in some locations. I don't like that Best Buy. I don't shop at that Best Buy if I don't have to. Preferably, I don't really enjoy Best Buy, period. But that seems to be Nintendo's butt buddy for these events right now. It just wasn't organized at all, and like the employees were so rude, and Wednesday was an absolutely awful experience in my opinion. And I sent a couple tweets toward Nintendo saying how awful it was at that location. Not that that really is going to do anything, but Saturday, however, getting there at 10 o'clock, I was very much near the front of the line, and everything was a very joyous experience. Got in there, got through the line pretty quickly, got some goodies. I'll talk about the actual game experience in a couple minutes. But Saturday was a very nice experience. I enjoyed Saturday. I don't know how the people outside were doing on Saturday because it did heat up pretty decently after a cool morning. So I don't know how the outside people were on Saturday, but hopefully there were no incidents. And like on Wednesday, they were saying like they were threatening to close down the event, which I don't know what that meant. If that meant like everyone inside didn't get to play too, and that they weren't going to hold it on Saturday, which honestly I think is a whole load of crap. Because I do not think Nintendo would allow them to do that, because this is their event more than anything. But the Best Buy employees were acting like they had full reign of everything. So that was a treat. They threatened to call the cops at one point because we were uncivil in line and tried to barge into the store. So yeah, there was a story forming in our line on Wednesday, but Saturday didn't have any of that. Saturday was really fun. One thing I do want to highlight really quick is that there were two ladies at our location, each with two 3DSs attached to them, that were playing the 3DS version. Saturday actually only had one. I don't know what happened to the other girl, but maybe she got kidnapped. I don't know. And so you got to play the Smash Run on the 3DS. Unfortunately, I did not get to play the 3DS version. On Wednesday, when our line outside was brought in, I was closer to the front of that second line, and they started playing the 3DS version with people a decent distance behind us. My friends got to play because they were several spots behind me in the Wednesday line. They got to play, so they said it was fun. I know Jedimon got to play. He said it was fun, but unfortunately I didn't. Basically what they were doing is that they were just kind of traveling around the line, letting people play. And then on Saturday, there was only one woman with the two systems, and she was a couple feet away from the Wii U unit. And there was a crowd forming there wanting to play the 3DS game, and then the Best Buy people got aggravated again and were like, we can't have two lines here. You're going to have to regulate that to where there's no line, and I don't know what they ended up doing because I had left at that point. I wanted to play the 3DS version, but I had other things to do, so alas, no 3DS playing for me, but the way the 3DS demo was handled was relatively poor too. Again, if they had an organized unit of systems set up, like in an outside event or somewhere like a mall, again, it would have been handled a lot better, in my opinion. That being said, the game was really fun. Like I said, I only got to play 2 minutes, so 4 minutes total. On Wednesday, I played Mega Man. And then on Saturday, I played Greninja. Via Mega Man, I tied for second with Kat, my girlfriend, so that was an experience. The kid next to me, also playing Mega Man, actually won by 1 point. But so that happened. I watched my friends play. My friend Ron got first as Bowser in his match. I don't remember what my friend Jeff played. He played Mega Man, but I don't remember what he got. I think he got third. And then on Saturday, I played with Jeff in my match. He was playing Mega Man again. And then my girlfriend was in the batch behind me, and she got third, I think. Both days she played Rosalina and Luma. So there was a nice varying degree of characters that you got to watch and play as. There was 20 characters, just like same roster as the Smash Invitational, for those of you that watched that. Same roster at SmashFest. Mega Man's cool, and so is Greninja. I enjoyed playing as both of them. You were using Wii U Pro controllers, which confused me because I'm so used to GameCube that with the different layout, I wasn't quite sure what I was doing because nothing was natural anymore. Now, my friend Ron and Jeff both got to play the 3DS version while they were in line, which uses pretty much the exact same setup as the Wii U Pro controller. And so they had to experience the control setup already, so Ron actually kicked butt as Bowser because he was slightly familiar with the control setup already. Whereas I wasn't. I did a lot better on Saturday because I was a little bit more familiar with the control setup. So it's a little bit of a differentiation there. Thankfully, we are going to be able to use GameCube controllers with Smash 4. So that's really cool, though. I think if you're a heavy 3DS player, you might get conditioned to the style of the Wii U Pro controller. So I'm wondering if that's even going to happen to me or not. So it'll be interesting to see how many Smash players end up shifting to the Wii U Pro controller thanks to it having the same control setup as the 3DS version. So that'll be interesting to see because everyone's so pumped up about the GameCube versions right now, but with the controls being the same between the 3DS and the Wii U Pro controller, I'm really curious to see how many people actually end up using the Wii U Pro controller when it comes out in the holiday compared to using the GameCube. But regardless, I do want to get the GameCube bundle thing because I want the spiffy controller. So that's going to be a thing. So that about wraps it up. Usual 20-minute ramble as per normal. So overall, the experience was fun. I did enjoy the fact that Nintendo was bringing Smash to people who couldn't go to E3. I love that they do things like this. But like I said, the event was handled so poorly, and it just took so long to get anywhere that the 2-minute end experience just overall was not worth it. You get to walk away saying, well, that was a fun game, but honestly, waiting 3.5 hours to play 2 minutes, at the end of the day, no matter what game it is, just doesn't have that much of an end reward. So I'm really hoping Nintendo looks at these, they look at the attendance numbers, and hopefully kind of get their thing together, because I would love to see bigger Nintendo E3 mall events happen again. Those are always a very, very cool experience. I like kind of avoiding lines and just having a atmosphere to where you can kind of mellow out and just hang around people. I enjoy those experiences more, and that's why I really like the mall tours. There's a little bit less lines because there's all these other things to do. So while there are lines, there are a lot shorter lines because so many people are going to play different games or different systems at different units and things like that. So I really hope that they kind of get their act together and provide a really cool experience next year because I'm hoping that they do it again. So we'll see what happens. I would just really like them to get away from Best Buy because I'm really tired of the Best Buy near me. They're really not nice people. So that being said, thank you for listening to my ramble on why SmashFest was very annoying. But at the end of the day, the game was incredibly fun, and I'm very much looking forward to October to get my hands on the 3DS version and then holiday to start up the Wii U shenanigans. So huge props to Nintendo for the event. Huge slops to Best Buy for kind of being pricks. So thanks for listening. Take care and have a great one. Bye.